The 2016 race is breaking records for early voting. More than 23 million Americans have already cast their ballots, and those numbers could surge even higher, with about 40% of the electorate expected to vote before November the 8th. Michael McDonald is associate professor at the University of Florida, and he's been studying this whole early voting thing. My mom, by the way, loves it. You don't have to wait in line, well, for the most part. You just show up and do it. But 40%, a huge number. Which party does that tend to benefit?
Well, it really depends on which state you're looking at, quite frankly, and so we'd have to go sort of state by state. I see a mixed bag of candy out there for both the Clinton and the Trump campaigns.
All right, let's take a look at this, because 2012 compared to 2016, there's been a 6.8% increase in early voting. Democrats are down 4.2%, Republicans up 4.5%, but this is the really interesting number. Registered unaffiliated voters are up 36.9%. What's that all about?
Well, again, I'm not sure which state you're talking about there, but it sounds like it's North Carolina.
Numbers.
Those are national numbers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, again, a lot of unevenness across the states, but this is certainly a feature that we're seeing in this election cycle, is that while the Democrats and Republicans may be about on parity with their 2012 numbers, there's some, again, variation across some states. We're seeing unaffiliated people who do not have a registration with a political party in states that do have party registration. We're seeing their numbers up very much over 2012.
Do you think that a lot of people are just becoming more frustrated by Republicans, by Democrats, and so they don't want to be affiliated with any party, and that's why they're headed to the polls early?
This is a long-term trend that we've seen in American politics over the last 3 decades. We've seen a decline in the number of people who register with a political party. It actually has very important consequences, because in states with closed primaries, it's those people who register are the ones who are eligible to vote in those primaries.
Well, some of those states may be forced to change those closed primaries to open primaries. Let's take a look at some of those battleground states, though, because you said that a lot really, that's really a big factor. Florida, Arizona, some of those states, North Carolina. Where are we at right now with regard to early voting in those states, and who does it favor?
All right, let me go around the horn and give some good news for the Clinton campaign and then good news for the Trump campaign. All right, so the good news for the Clinton campaign is that we're starting to get numbers out of the western states like Nevada and Colorado. We've had over a quarter of the votes already that I would expect to be cast in this election already into election officials out there. And what we're seeing are patterns that look pretty good for the Democrats. They're at least on par, if not better, than 2012. And, you know, that's in those states, Nevada and Colorado, Obama won by a healthy margin in those states. So Republicans need to make some inroads in the coming week to have a chance to be able to flip those states. In Iowa and Ohio, we've seen continued weakness for the Democrats throughout the early voting period. There's some inkling of signs of life. The Democrats are starting to get their act together, but they've got a long way to go. I'm not sure where those states are going to be at the end of the week, but at least right now it appears it may be narrowing a bit from a Trump advantage currently.
Then Hillary Clinton may have a big hill to climb, and that is that major news about the FBI investigation, and that ties in my next question. If you look at the Real Clear Politics national average, the head-to-head matchup, you have Clinton at 47.5%. This was taken last week, to Trump's 45%. So the numbers, as a result of this new news about the FBI, have not been factored into that yet. How do you think that information is going to affect the polls coming out this week?
We're not seeing any change in the voting patterns on Saturday or Sunday. So the numbers look very similar as they did before the news happened. Of course, this is just a slice of the electorate, so, but at least looking right now at the patterns, it doesn't look at this this news is so different or updating people in some ways that would change at least the voting patterns among different people of registered parties.
Yeah,
I don't know who they're voting for. We're just not seeing like decreased enthusiasm among Democrats, for example.
Well, you know, it's interesting because what you're saying right now tracks with what Larry Sabato from the UVA said earlier today, and that is he thinks it may produce 1 to 2 points difference between the candidates. Professor Michael McDonald, thank you so much. Great to see you, and thanks for your expertise.
Thank you.